Well, didn't see this one coming. You know when you meet somebody extremely wild or you see somebody extremely wild and you say to yourself, man, one day it's gonna bite them somehow. Destroying cars? No. Getting in crazy situations? No. Nope, it was just the local government. Oh. So today we're going to break down as easily as possible what Mr. WhistlinDiesel is going through. Break down some of the camera footage and what this means for the car community in general. Full disclaimer, I've never met WhistlinDiesel and I have absolutely nothing against him. In fact, I kind of feel bad. So I'm gonna call this the squatted truck owner and Ferrari conspiracy with tinfoil hats crumpling as hard as possible. They wanted revenge. So first things first. Let's talk about license plates. Long story short, people register their cars in other states for a variety of reasons, especially states like Montana. A lot of the times it could be as simple as you have an older car that you just can't deal with the smog or the inspection in your local area, even if your car is legal. It just is a ton of money, a ton of time, a ton of issues. You have to prove to the state that these older cars are just fine and not polluting as much as they think they are. Or you have a modified car that's really cool and you just don't want to deal with the inspection. And well, modified cars are cool. So then there's the other side of the situation where people have a ton of luxury cars like supercars and hypercars, and they just don't want to pay the sales tax. For a long time now, a lot of people, what they've been doing, they'll register it as a business owning the car and not on the individual level. But Montana is the most infamous for this for sure because there's no sales tax and it doesn't really have smog or anything like that either. And as you can imagine, his home state of Tennessee was not a huge fan. And naturally his notorious Ferrari was registered in Montana. So the home state of Tennessee says, you know what? We don't care if it's owned by a business or not. They don't care about that argument. So they showed up with a bunch of cops on his property and said, no, this is not a prank, bro. And it had to be a weird moment for sure. Just a bunch of people showing up at your shop and not knowing why they're there. It had to be kind of scary at first to be like, I don't know why they're here. It could be for something much worse than I imagined. And then he gets told that he has a warrant out for his arrest. According to the Tennessee state law, they don't distinguish between an owner of a car individually or a company. Now, if you own the car or it has the registered business ownership of the car in said other state, and the car is in the other state for 30 days, that's the time limit. That's it. But it's been extraordinarily hard to prove for the government to have a car. Oh, is it in the state for 30 days? Is it out of the state for 30 days? If it's operating in the state for 30 days? Sadly, it sounds like the almighty dollar is the winner here. This is my personal opinion. Like a lot of laws that are from state to state, some are in the gray areas and some are more clear, especially in the past involving things like cybercrime, for example, or things on the internet that industries didn't know what to do, like illegally downloading music off Napster. A lot of the times, there's unfortunately a scapegoat. And much like those situations in the past, I think that's what's happening here. Due to the government, the subscriber and WhistlinDiesel durability test has been initiated. Like most people, I truly believe that Whistlin is being made an example of. This Montana or out-of-state registration thing has gone on for decades now. There hasn't been a way to kind of fear-monger people out of this situation or out of doing it. He's high profile. He's known for doing a bunch of crazy things, including a Ferrari that, decided to go away in an inferno, which I'm sure Ferrari was super happy about. He's an easy target. That's just kind of some facts. Also, this warrant and accusation is not just for him as an individual, it's also for his company and LLC. States have enforced this whole Montana plate thing in kind of waves, like they'll impound a bunch of cars until they're registered in their home state, and then they'll kind of back off for a while, and then it just would come and go. But I think this truly is going to be a big catalyst for this law to be more enforced. Technology is getting better. There's a lot more license plate scanners, a lot more things now. Whether you think fortunately or unfortunately, you can prove that a car has roughly been in a state 30 days operating. However, for the Ferrari, there's just a little bit of a conundrum here, and I'm sure it's a new one for the government. It doesn't exist anymore because it burned down in Texas and not Tennessee, so that's gonna be fun to figure out for them. Like almost anything Whistlin seems to go through, whatever controversy, he always either comes out on top or he comes out clean. So I think it's gonna be all right, dude, if you're watching this. I think it's gonna be all good. Sorry you're going through this, but I think it's gonna be okay, as much as it sucks. I have to say though, his whole breakdown video goes freaking hard with an RPG in the background. To mention the tax evasion slate is so funny to me. That's a movie I'd go see. Okay, so let's just do a quick breakdown of his arrest video. Watching the camera footage, I think it is important for his team to film this legally as well. He's like, I'm getting arrested for freaking what, dude? Not burning down property, not burning down a Ferrari or cars or destructing anything, or gee, I don't know, building a killdozer. At least it wasn't some smooth brain content getting arrested on purpose, you know what I mean? So in the footage, the cop breaks down that it's essentially a state issue and not a federal one, making it clear it was the Tennessee Department of Revenue. The cuffs seem to be crazy tight on him, but I'm sure if you didn't know his content or his business or what he does, it had to be kind of weird as a normal police officer to drive on his property, walk, because they didn't open the gate, they just walked in, to see essentially a killdozer and being like, okay, are we gonna have a standoff situation here or something? Or even the parody or the satire side of the things he did. You would probably be pretty intimidated walking on the property if you're just an average police officer who has no idea what's going on there. The biggest issue for me as an outsider and a third party, as not a lawyer, is that he had no warning. There was nothing telling him in advance before getting arrested with a warrant that he owed a bunch of money to the state. Because sadly, in the world of PR and having victories, it wouldn't be much of a victory to send him a letter and be like, hey, you owe this money, and he's probably just like, okay, how do I pay it? It's not exciting, it's not headlining news, and it's not, well, a bureaucratic win, sadly. So sadly, I think that's why he got no warning and they just completely put him off guard and on the spot. I think it was completely by design. Some of the comments are pretty funny though. Laughable they arrest someone for tax evasion without even attempting to collect first. No contact? This is lunacy. Yeah, that's what I was saying. Cody gets arrested. Comments, where's the Bugatti durability test? I can't imagine how many times that's been asked. You were arrested for tax evasion, but I didn't receive any notification. Yes, the decree was issued 17 seconds ago. What better way to get people to run away from doing the Montana plate hack, basically. I can't wait to see CoffeeZilla break this down. Regardless of what side you are in that situation, you just don't want a beef with CoffeeZilla. You just don't want it. I don't want the smoke. Anyways, I'm glad to see that it seems like the team is in good spirits right now. Hopefully it goes as smooth as possible. Hopefully they can make a case for themselves. I mean, it seems pretty cut and dry for me, even when a car doesn't even exist anymore. The world we live in. Anyways, what do you guys think about this entire situation? Let me know in the comment section below. I appreciate every single one of you guys for coming by today's video, and I'll see you guys next time. Take it easy. Have a wonderful day. Peace.